This is your Diamond Insight for tonight of the United Nations and war. As world leaders including President Hakainde Hichilema meet in New York, the USA, at the United Nations General Assembly, our eyes have settled on the purposes and principles of the organization. We wish to quote the United Nations Charter and pick the first purpose of the organization. It states, and we quote, to maintain international peace and security, and to that end, to take effective collective measures for the prevention and removal of threats to the peace and for the suppression of acts of aggression or other breaches of the peace, and to bring about by peaceful means and in conformity with the principles of justice and international law, adjustment or settlement of international disputes or situations which might lead to a breach of the peace, end of quote. This is but just one of the purposes of the United Nations when the founding leaders signed the agreement on 26th of June 1945 in San Francisco at the conclusion of the conference, and this came into force on October 24th, 1945. It is therefore important that as our leaders meet 77 years later, even if they are only successors of the pioneers of the organization, they need to ask themselves whether they are living up to the purposes and principles of the UN. We are specifically asking what they are doing about the war between Russia and Ukraine, which has now entered its 7th month. First, we know that the war involves Russia, pro-Russian forces on one hand, and Ukraine on the other hand started in February 2014. Conflict initially centered on the status of Crimea, parts of the Donbas region, which are internationally recognized as part of Ukraine, but Russia wants to claim them. The United Nations has done a bad job over this war, despite having affected the world order, especially lifestyles and regards economies. Why are the members of the UN allowing the war between Russia and Ukraine to continue when their charter is opposed to aggression? As we speak, Russian leader Vladimir Putin, who has been president since 2012, having previously served between 2000 and 2008, is mobilizing his army. This means there is no end to the war between Russia and Ukraine unless the UN does what it was established to do, and that is to bring about world peace. If the UN has become a talk shop, then the leaders should stop spending millions of dollars in Manhattan in luxury hotels. Strange enough also that even Chinese leader Xi Jinping is not attending as another super global power. There should be a new beginning to the UN to live up to the purpose instead of simply condemning Russia's aggression against Ukraine.